Hey there guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm talking about personality. Why personality is important, what I offer that other practitioners do not, and what you can do with what you gain from my services. So the first thing, personality is mostly your nature, not your nurture. It is your blueprint, your coding of your personality that you are stuck with from birth for the duration of your life. Yes, it shifts a bit over time, but it shifts on the basis of decisions that you willfully make and directions that you choose to go in, positions, places that you choose to be in, and ways that you react to your environment, irrespective of the environment, the conditioning, the things being bestowed upon you in themselves. So, you're learning about your deepest core of your operating system. It's the thing that you cannot fundamentally change. It is your framework for behavior. It is your modes of perception and making judgments about things. We all have to have a starting point, you know? Two siblings who grow up who are roughly the same age, even if they're identical twins, right? They have the same upbringing. Parents treat them the same, may dress them the same, may give them equality in the home, yet they turn out to be completely different. They turn out to be completely different because they are different. They respond to the same things in different ways. Equality truly is a myth, even within the confines of a home, right? So that's one of the things that we have to take note of, is that equality is a myth. It's false. It's not something we can aim toward because it's a fantasy, right? Not on a societal level, neither on a personal level, on a familial level. Right? We need to get rid of that idea. Equality is impossible. It's a fantasy. It's a delusion. If we base policy and decisions on it, the world as we know it in all of its beauty will end. Okay? So your personality is your coding. You can't change it. It's not purely biological. It's not purely genetic. You know? We don't know the foundations of it, but that's because we don't know the foundations of consciousness, of goodness, of truth in and of themselves, you know? We don't know the foundations of biology and the things that we can study scientifically. However, there are deep correlations between biological proclivities, such as dopaminergic reactivity, you know, ADD, ADHD, conditions, mental health problems. There are lots of things that we know to be innate, lots of conditions, lots of proclivities that correlate very strongly with certain personality traits, certain patterns of behavior that we can observe in ourselves and in others. So our personality is the core of that. It's the thing that we have to presuppose is natural, is intrinsic to us, rather than the opposite of what we can do. Well, we have these structures of understanding biology and chemistry and physics and things like that. Let's conform our behavior to those systems. No, it starts with the individual and what we know about how individuals connect with other individuals to create things such as love, communities, relationships, things that are greater than ourselves, that are worth serving, that are worth putting energy into, that are worth aiming toward the highest good, right? They're worth sacrificing for. So, that's personality. It's your place in that. It's your core. It's your being, your operating system. You have to know about that to know yourself, to gain a level of self-awareness that I believe is required for doing good in the world with intention and with motivation toward the good. If you don't have a certain degree of self-awareness, you're simply reacting to the world. So you're going to learn all of life's lessons the hard way, in retrospect. But truth does exist, meaning does exist, and we can act intentionally, we can act with foresight for the future. We can have accurate foresight about how the future is going to unfold. But it all starts with us knowing ourselves and incorporating the hard lessons that we've learned along the way. Now, what can I do for you? Well, I'm the only practitioner who I have come across who combines multiple systems. I combine natal chart astrology and Big Five and Myers-Briggs. All other practitioners I have come across are merely experts in one of these areas. And yes, there are many very good ones who I would highly recommend if you are interested in one over the others. But if you would like the most holistic and concise approach to unpacking your coding, unpacking your operating system, your innate personality, I recommend my own services because I combine the best bits of all of those systems in a holistic way. They do have correlations among them. There are similarities between them. And so what I do is not give you a fucking 40-page breakdown of every single little detail of your personality. That would take forever, right? For $150, I look across the systems and I use my good judgment based on my expertise in all three of these systems. And the most important things about your personality emerge on their own. So I hone in on those and the connections between those things, and I try to flesh that out as concisely as I possibly can. So what you get is anywhere from a 4 to 10 page typed breakdown, single spaced, so it's a lot of information, of your personality, the most important bits, the things that you likely have to work on to be the best possible version of yourself that you can be, so that you can weed out all of the extra stuff and focus on just the important bits. And I think that my cross-disciplinary approach is the best at fleshing out what is important rather than everything, including what is not so important, right? So you get that 4 to 10 roughly page single spaced breakdown typed, and you get a 45-minute to hour-long audio recording of me going through that whole report, reading it, and giving you a ton of extra detail on how to understand every bit of that report so that you can move forward with meaning, with understanding and purpose. Remember, understanding is the goal here. To understand yourself is to have great power. So I place understanding things in a whole and complete way as paramount when it comes to fleshing out your personality. In addition to that, so you get the typed report and the audio file with all that extra bits, the extra information, and you get one included follow-up report to that. It can be another audio file or a call, video call, phone call, or another typed explanation if you have specific questions to clarify your understanding of the material I've given you. I do another follow-up report to that in whatever format you choose, just in order to explain things more deeply and adapt it to your communication style so that you know exactly what I'm talking about. I also have a variety of resources on my website, on my YouTube channel that you can refer to gain a better, well-rounded understanding of the personality systems that I do use. And you can pay for extra consulting sessions in addition to that $150 baseline service that I provide, which comes in 3 parts: the written or typed report, the audio file, and the follow-up clarifying report. So what can you do with that information? Well, I've emphasized understanding as a basis for really moving forward with truth and meaning in your life. You have to understand yourself in order to understand how you react to and connect with other people. And our connections are crucial, you know? I come from a standpoint of wanting to understand people before I get too deeply, intimately involved with them, you know? Because I end up being more forgiving of them if I understand myself, how I'm going to react to them in certain situations, and how I'm going to react to things that I don't expect them to say and do when they're around me, you know? So it enhances and improves your relationships through understanding yourself a lot better. So it's very crucial. Also in business and finding your own purpose, you have to understand yourself and know the types of things, not just the specific things, but the types of things that are going to serve you, right? Because what does personality really afford you? Understanding yourself really afford you? Well, you realizing what is truly valuable to you. Not only that, but how you are to go about fulfilling those values. Very important. So it's about values, it's about understanding yourself and how you fit into the world, and about your connections. You know, that's what you're going to gain. There's really no limit. Those are the three most fundamental tools that you need a grapple on to move forward in life in a true and meaningful way. So, say no more, right? If you'd like to take me up on my services, look, I know I'm not for everyone, right? I do take a no-nonsense approach to personality readings, no crystals, no woo-woo. I take the information that is present in your natal chart, in your Myers-Briggs type, in your results from your Big 5 tests. I let the truth emerge, and then I simply describe that. I'm not making anything up. I'm just a messenger. Although I have my own style, I have my own interpretations of how I describe these things. The things are as they are. You are the way you are. And you can't change yourself on a fundamental level. But you can change how you direct your life in a willful way. How you go about employing free will. The extent to which you are authentic. Authenticity is the key. And authenticity only comes from a place of self-understanding, self-acceptance, and acceptance of the world around you and the things that you cannot control. I can't control what your birth chart says. I only interpret it. But I have years of experience in studying personality, over 10 years, in fact. So I have some knowledge that you might like. But if my style isn't for you, that's okay. And if you do take me up on my services and find that you don't like what I have to say, that's okay too. At least you've learned something. You've learned the type of person you want to avoid when you're seeking help. So you can weed me out as, irrelevant data, if you will, as you go about your self-seeking and understanding and improving journey. So anyway, I've been Britton Frost. Check my website, overthoughtandunderstated.com. See the rest of my YouTube channel for a variety of resources on how to understand these systems, as well as a lot on philosophy and logic, because that's where my formal education is. And until next time, see you guys later. Cheers.